Hey, Happy New Year and welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to kick off a new year on my channel. Between Christmas and the new year and before we go back to school, I like to focus this time on reorganizing, decluttering, and simplifying my home to create space and set intentions for a new year. So today I'm going to be doing a new year home organization, decluttering, and simplifying video, and I'm going to do a few of these throughout the month of January just to kind of kickstart the new year. With my Christmas money this year, I got a laminator and a label maker, and I had a field day on New Year's Day and this last week just getting organized around the house. There are many benefits to having an organized space, like mental and emotional benefits, including reducing stress and anxiety, improving focus and productivity, and enhancing clarity, but also practical and financial benefits as well, like saving time, money, and creating healthier habits. I'm going to start first with wrapping up holiday organization. No pun intended. But yeah, giving future me the gift of tidy decorations. As I am cleaning up the holiday season and organizing to put that stuff away for the next year, I'm going to try to give future me the gift of tidy decorations by making sure that the lights are wrapped up and organized neatly. I have these Velcro ties I got on Amazon. These Velcro ties work great for cords. I used to use them all the time in my music room. They also work great for Christmas lights. So I like to make sure those are organized, put those in the bin, and put those away for next year. And just giving myself the gift of being intentional when putting away Christmas decorations so that next year I am more efficient when I bring them out and I decorate. Also, I've been putting ornaments in Ziploc bags just to keep them organized and easy to access next year, and less likely to break. We've been collecting these Brut bins for a long time now, but there are different brands. Just having good sturdy bins and labeling them for wherever you store them. It can be overwhelming to decide to declutter the house, so starting with one room at a time or areas that you want to declutter. Here are a few areas that I would suggest decluttering at the beginning of the year. So this list is extensive. You could choose one small area a day to focus on, or one area a week, and just really plan in January to be intentional with clearing out different spaces, but not being overwhelmed to feel like you have to do it all at once. So the areas that I was focusing on the first week of January are the fridge and the freezer. So pulling everything out of the freezer, everything from the holidays, but also just going through all of the condiments, checking the dates, and throwing out anything that is expired, and just doing a general deep clean of the refrigerator. We were also focusing this week on a general deep clean of the kitchen, like the kitchen counters and the cabinets and drawers and the inside. So reorganizing, pulling everything out, clearing out. Sometimes there's little crumbs, or just doing a nice deep clean of everything. I also did deep cleaning of both of our cars during Christmas break, which was on my list. I just didn't film it, so that was one thing I wanted to get to as well at the beginning of the year. And then I'm also going to be focusing on freezer inventory. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. We recently got a freezer for the garage, so I'm going to be doing freezer inventory so that I can focus on meal prep a little bit more in 2026, which I have mentioned in previous videos as well. We have plenty of miscellaneous drawers in our house, including our miscellaneous kitchen drawer, so just getting that nice and organized. My husband is a chef, so as many of you already know, and on his channel this month, he's going to be focusing on the basics of cooking. For the month of January, he's focusing on knife skills and cutting techniques, how to make stocks, broths, and reductions, braises, pan roasting and searing, how to make sauces and marinations. He's going to touch on meal prep, plating and presentation, and appetizers as we get closer to Super Bowl. So definitely check that out. It's going to be really helpful information, and we're trying to kind of tag team a little bit more this year and do more content together since we tend to film a little bit separately just because of the kids and our schedule. We're going to try to do a little bit more together as much as we can. Other areas that I'm really trying to focus on are just miscellaneous junk drawers. Just going in and putting things where they belong. Sometimes random things end up in the junk drawers. So just going in each of the drawers, putting everything back in their home and where they belong, and creating intention for the drawers. So like maybe this is, the card games or whatever I choose to make this drawer, and also just clearing out the entire entertainment center here. I declutter the area next to my bed pretty consistently because things just kind of end up there. I have the Squishmallows that my kids got me for Christmas, so I keep those there, but I also have my little bookshelf with some of my favorite reads. So I'm going to pull anything like old calendars or planners or anything that I need to get rid of and just kind of do an inventory check, make sure everything's nice and organized there. I like to do this pretty much daily, but this is a good area to check on next to your nightstand. I know some of us have nightstands and inside them they're kind of cluttered and could be organized. So that's an area that could be a focus. My husband built me this custom nightstand. And so I have like my yoga mats, and then I have some of my like my nighttime vitamins. I keep a basket next to my bed with my highlighters and some of my sort of planner organization items like my laminator and my label maker. That's where that sort of lives right now because I tend to work pretty remote, and I actually like to work sometimes in my bed. I'll often edit or look on Pinterest or whatever in bed. I kind of go a little bit of everywhere when I work, so I keep that basket there. I'm going to pull that out today, and I'm going to give you a little tour of my organization basket. When trying to get organized or stay organized, consider storage solutions like baskets, bins, and shelves. I like to call these my little kits. Especially for hobbies or different things around the house, having a bin or a basket that is a kit that includes everything you need for that, basically a home. Everything has a home. And so when you want to get organized, having baskets, bins, and shelves, and considering these kits that you can also label, it'll save you time. It'll really save you a lot of mental space as well, because sometimes it's hard to want to know where something is and you can't find it, or you can't find everything you need for that particular task. So having everything in a kit or organized in a basket or bin is very helpful. Labels and printouts are another great way to stay organized. I love to use canva.com. I use it for my business, for homeschooling, and for home organization. Canva has hundreds of customizable templates and printouts that you can use. I absolutely love it. I'm not paid in any way by them. I actually pay every single month to use this for my YouTube channel. I make thumbnails with Canva. There are literally endless ways to get organized, and you can have so much fun. I wanted to do freezer inventory, so I just typed in freezer inventory and then customized it so it made sense for our freezer. And then I wanted to laminate that and use a dry erase pen for our freezer. There's also weekly planners. There are options for homeschool moms. I also like it if you want to do like a cleaning checklist or a cleaning planner. If you're doing an event, if you have a wedding or birthday party coming up, this is a great way to get organized. If you run a business, you have a small team, you want to get on the same page with your team. There's a lot of ways to use these printouts to get everybody on the same page to get more organized. And it's great for moms as well, just to get the family on the same page, visuals, all that. I'm a very visual person, so sometimes having something like this can be very helpful. I mean, you can find free printouts on Pinterest, but sometimes you can't customize them. This makes it really easy. Also, I am continuing to do just weekly pinning. If you go to my Pinterest, you can kind of get insight into how my brain works, but I have different boards and it's how I get creative and set goals and intentions. I have been doing this at the end of 2025 to just set intention and hit the ground running in 2026. So after I did my pinning, I'll usually make a list of some of the ideas that I saw that I want to implement. I find Pinterest to just be a really great resource, a really positive space on the internet to help me set intentions and create goals. I always get ideas, it sparks inspiration. One of the things I wanted to do was clean out our medicine cabinet, especially this time of the year when sickness is going around. It's really important to make sure everything is organized and in a spot so it's easily accessible. Creating vision boards and doing brain dumps are 3 things that I like to use Pinterest for, and I gain a lot of inspiration from that. I also just have my notebook and I do brain dumps pretty consistently. I talked about that a lot in 2025, which is basically just writing everything that's on your mind down and creating actionable steps for some of your goals, some of the things that you want to do. I saw this idea for a brain dump, which was make kind of like a master list, and then on Post-its you can put 3 to 5 things you want to do each day. Then when you're done, you remove that Post-it and then you have each day underneath that. It's just a nice visual way to accomplish a few things every day. And I know that the baby steps and creating those habits are what create impact long term. So brain dump is just one way to get my brain organized so that I can get my life organized. So just to give an example, a brain dump for me, especially at the beginning of the year, it's like call the orthodontist to make an appointment for my son Oliver. It's getting close to time where he might need braces, so we've been needing to do a consultation. There are a few things coming up for tax season I need to get done. There are a few tasks around the house. There are just several things on my mind, and I just dump it all on paper and then start deciding what needs to be done first, second, third, and assigning different days to doing different tasks. So I don't get overwhelmed with everything all at once. I can visualize it and make space for that. Today, I'm going to have fun with my laminator. And whenever I do printouts, I can decide if it's something I want to laminate. I certainly don't laminate everything. But if I want to do like a checklist for the kids or something like freezer inventory that I want to use consistently, laminating is a great way to keep it a little bit longer than you would if it was just, a piece of paper. So I'm going to laminate the freezer inventory. This laminator was only $17, and this one's a really good one. I've had other ones in the past that aren't as great. This one worked out really well, so I like to have this around. It's always fun to laminate something, especially if it's a printout. Like a cleaning schedule is really great to laminate because you can use a dry erase pen and you can use it over and over and over again. When it comes to being a little bit more efficient with meal planning, it's important to know what you have in your freezer, especially if you buy in bulk. because it can be easy to forget what you have. So doing an inventory before you go to the store and buy something in bulk or before you go grocery shopping is really important to know what you have so you don't buy too much of one particular thing, and also that you know what you have so that you can meal prep appropriately. So having our stocks and broths that we make and having a checklist of how many of those we have and how much meat we have, that'll help us plan not only what we do for my husband's channel, which is a part of our business as well, but when it comes to meal planning for our family as well. So taking a quick inventory before running to the grocery store or a certain time every week, I like to take a photo of it, and then I can also put that photo in OneNote, which is a great place to organize notes. You can take a photo of your note, put it in OneNote, and it organizes all your notes. That's also helpful so that you can pull that up if you're at the grocery store and forget how much you have of everything. I also picked up these storage containers for the project that I wanted to do when organizing the medicine cabinet and also in the bathroom. So I have a few different storage options to create organization and even like kits for the bathroom. I'm using the label maker, which this is fantastic. I had a label maker. It's been a while since I've had a new one. I love how this can link up to your phone in the app. You can customize the label. There's tons of different things you can do with it. I went with a really simple design because I just want to make labels for markers, pencils, pens for my kids' desks for homeschooling. I also want to create labels for the medicines and label, the different bins that each medicine is going to go to. So like allergy, prescription, nausea medicine, stomach, stuff like that. So I got creative with that and organized the medicine cabinets. And then I'm also going to organize underneath the bathroom sinks. That's a goal this week as well. So I'm going to use my label maker for that. In conclusion, January is a great time to set intentions and rethink your space. You can start by giving future you the gift of tidy decorations by reorganizing the holiday items. You can declutter one room at a time or choose areas to declutter. You can consider storage solutions like baskets, bins, and shelves, and using resources like labels and printouts. Once you do your January organization, here are a few tips to stay organized throughout the year. You can create a cleaning schedule, do a quick declutter once a week to keep up with what you did at the beginning of the year. Always keep a donation bin so that you can regularly add items to that bin and donate when necessary. And limit buying new items. Keep your eyes out for videos just like this so that together we can create intentions for a fantastic 2026. Come back to my channel for more videos like this in January, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.